Venture X card from Capital One gives you premium travel benefits, perfect for seeing Taylor Swift The Eras Tour. Presented by Capital One. Ooh, I do love her. Earn 5 times miles on flights and 10 times miles on hotels through Capital One Travel.
Enjoy your stay in Suite 13.
Whoa, 13? That's Taylor's lucky number. The Venture X card from Capital One. What's in your wallet?
Terms apply. See CapitalOne.com for details.
Welcome to the Eric Zane Show Podcast, a daily show where I discuss news, nonsense, and my personal adventures. Welcome to you. All right. You know, I would have done this earlier today. Today's another wonky day. I'll explain more about that in a second. But, I guess I'll just say now I'm driving home from the radio station, being a fill-in guy on the local news talk radio station. All right, hey, can you come in and do the sportscast for a few days? Yeah, no problem. Piece of cake. Easy job. Do my thing. Of course, you got to get up at, 4 o'clock in the morning. Something that the feeling I have, good news, bad news, the feeling I have getting up to do that job at 4 in the morning hasn't changed. It's the same unnatural point in the day for a human being to wake up. Absolutely absurd. I think that if you go to bed at 7 p.m. and wake up at 6 a.m., you can stay up for the whole day. Hell, if you go to bed at 10 p.m. and wake up at 6 a.m., you can stay awake for the whole day. You don't need a nap. But if you wake up at 5:59 a.m., 1 minute earlier, and sleep for the same amount of time, it's fucked up. And if you have to get up at 4 a.m., there is no way you can make sleep any amount of time that can make it so that you're not ridiculously exhausted in a falling asleep, doing whatever in a narcoleptic, oh my God, just fall asleep. I was driving home from the radio station today. It's 9:15. I was annoyed because it was two detours leaving downtown. Like, what the fuck? And it just starts like chewing on me that, hey, you're exhausted. You need to go. And I'm like, well, yeah, there's no negotiating this in any way, shape, or form. There's no possible way I could sit here in front of this camera with any degree of acumen or to be able to do what I do here without a complete reboot. Not negotiable. I fall into the house, and Diana's here. She's on spring break, and the boys meet me at the door. The dog's like, oh, hey, still so sad. No Daisy. And as I'm telling this story, I'm seeing Kuipers saying 4:30 a.m. every day. Unbelievable. TAS 1965. I don't know who that is. 3:45. What? Oh, my God. May the Lord watch over your eternal soul. I don't know please tell me the line of work. I think I know what Kuipers does. What do you do again? You sell fucking electrician, plumbers, heating and cooling people, their parts or something like that. Ryan says when he used to fill in for the morning traffic guy on Fox 17, it was horrendous. 3 a.m. sucks. You mean you were like on the air? I didn't know that. I'm learning all sorts of things about you. Add to the fact that I'm like hungry. I could feel like, oh God, hungry and tired. These are the two things that you don't want when you're drunk like me. When you're drunk like me, they often say, never get hungry, never get tired, never get lonely. I'm like, to me, lonely sounds great, frankly. fall into the house, see the dogs, go, I am going to bed. Barely make it up the steps. Clothes coming off as I'm going up the steps. Army crawling. Get up the steps. Oh, Jesus Christ, get me in the bed. Benny's in there. I go, don't move, Benny. You don't have to get up. I'm just going to roll into the bed, and then that's it. 1 hour later, I wake up. And then I'm like, this is going to take some negotiation to actually get out of the bed. Wow. Finally, out. Here we go. Let's go. Let's go. Wake up. And the thing is, you know, when you get up at that hour in this window that we're talking about, it doesn't matter how much coffee you have. You could be snorting cocaine and you'd fall right to sleep. Jesus. So, all right. And so doing all that was real flashback to the old radio days. Now, I'll just tell you this. The show starting at this time of the day, late morning, mid-morning. Right now, I don't really have any, set time. I mean, I've started during this run at Wood Radio for the past week at 10 a.m., and today, obviously a little bit different. So, back to normal starting on Thursday because I have radio tomorrow. Same, just like today, that happens tomorrow. Now, with any luck, I'll be okay and start the show at 10. That's great. I just want to remind you that this may, down the road, don't know when, become the norm because of the radio flirtation that is happening as we speak. I have not talked about what radio station, but there is a radio station that is actively and aggressively trying to get your old pal Eric Zane on the radio. I'm not kidding. It's not bullshit. It's not a stunt or anything like that. And the conversation was very simple. I said, I can't be driving to the radio station. I have to do it here at home. Okay, let's talk about that. I go, so you're not closed-minded about it? No, not at all. Not at all. I said, okay, let's start there. And then I said, well, what about this podcast? I'm on here saying whatever the hell I want about people. Being an asshole half the time. Are you worried about that? Nope. I go, have you heard it? Have you watched it? Have you paid attention to what I do? Are you sure? We're good? I go, all right. Then we can talk. Conversation number 2 was even better than conversation number 1. This will allow me to do a lot of things. This will relieve a lot of pressure because as much as I know that the podcast has been a success, I mean, I'm still doing it. I'm still surviving, still earning income to keep my daughter in school and my puppies fed and the roof over my head. That's an absolute success. 100% independent podcast created from nothing, backed by you and the sponsors. Awesome. I can do this forever. However, if I'm asked to be part of to do a radio show, a morning radio show, where all I got to do is roll out of bed, scratch my ass, and start talking on a microphone from this room, well, hell yeah, I'm going to do that. I'd be a fool not to. I'm bringing this up time and again on this show so you can start to wrap your mind around that. This is all something that would improve things for us here at the house. So very, very excited about that. Very much so. And I have said that the radio industry has its issues, to be sure. With so many different things for the world to pay attention to, you have a harder time. That doesn't mean I don't like it. I've always enjoyed being on the radio, and I've never said, I'm never going back. I've always kept tried to keep a open mind about going back one day. But my eggs are not all in one basket that we've talked about. And thank God, if this happens, great. If it doesn't happen, totally cool. No pressure whatsoever. And that's the way it should be, frankly. Stevie is here. NW980 says, Joe and the poor boy coming back. No. That would be cool, though, wouldn't it? No, Joe's doing his own thing. I think he's getting ready to retire. Chris says, is it you or are they using AI to get your voice? Like on 101.3? No, it's nothing like that. Nothing like that. Thank you, Nate. Nate just subscribed with Prime. Very cool. This one, I'm in the minority, I know, but I set one alarm, no snooze, 5:30 every day, and don't drink coffee. It's time to get up, so just get your ass out of bed. Wow, that is a superpower. Kenny says, Ben and Eric in the mornings? No, it's not going to be that. At least I don't think so. But no. Yesterday, it's been kind of a crazy several days because you had Tuesday doing radio last week. Tuesday last week did radio. And then the unbelievable passing of Daisy. I mean, my God. Such a strange thing that just dropped in out of nowhere. Still feeling the effects of that. So Wednesday I did radio because I had to. They had no backup plan. And it was late at night that all unfolded. So, but upon coming home Wednesday, no podcast. And then Thursday, Friday, normal. Monday of this week, Diana colonoscopy. And we got to be at the hospital at 6:30 with bells on. So I prepared the not the best of the Eric Zane Show podcast and also posted something fun for you on Patreon that I like to do when I'm not here while I'm away. Oh, and we have visitors. Hello.
Yeah, asshole decided to run after a squirrel, get all muddy.
Wait a second.
It's on my shit list.
Come in here and close the door.
No, I gotta go.
No, it's okay. Say hi to them. Come over here. Did you say that Bruce ran away?
No, not Bruce.
Oh, Neil ran away.
The dickhead decided to chase a squirrel, ran into our backyard that's like a swamp right now, and got all muddy.
So you had to, towel him off there?
Yes.
Oh, dear. Okay. Sorry about that.
He's in the doghouse, literally.
Oh, yeah, you're mad at him, aren't? Don't be mad at him. Did you just hit him? Did I just hear you smack his nose? All right, well, I love you. Thank you, bye. Stevie says she looks pissed. Yeah, you could hear it. I guess O'Neill ran off. Stevie reacts, all caps, what? When she hears that Diana smacked him on the nose. It wasn't hard. Trust me. She's not going to beat the dog. Go on up, guys. Relax. Go lay down. Ryan says, I have a prediction for where Zane is heading, but I'm not going to say. Why don't you text it to me, and I'll tell you if you're right or wrong. How does that sound? All right. And it's not for sure. It's maybe. Maybe. So yesterday we get up. Colonoscopy day. Now, different for every person, but when I had mine, I drank that. I think you have to drink like a half barrel of this odd tasting poverty Gatorade. Very salty. Strange material, and you ingest that, you drink it down, and then it cleans you out completely. Real pain in the ass, literally. You know, and let me give you some advice. If you ever have to do a colonoscopy and you do this either by drinking this solution or taking these pills called Sutabs, 2 ways you can do it. If you can't handle the drinking, you take the tablets. You go number 2 so much that it's just water. I mean, you are so cleaned out that you could put ice into a glass and put your ass over it. And go, and it comes out so hard. It's like when you stick your thumb over a hose. It's that type of. You could do that into the glass, and it's like delicious water. It's actually refreshing. That's how good this stuff cleans you out. Queen of the Forest, she didn't do that. She took the tablets. Now, when that happens one too many times and you wipe with the paper, if you don't have a bidet, you're going to be wiping. And that's tough on your butthole. I mean, that your ass can only take so much. So you got to dab. Just dab it. Don't wipe it. It catches up with you, and then it hurts. So don't do that. Anyway, Queen of the Forest, she's like, I'm not drinking that shit. It's too hard. It's going to be I think she had done it once before. So she takes these tablets. And I don't know the exact procedure, but she realizes that it's also not a picnic. And she's going to be up all night. And I think the second, there's like the first round, and it cleans you out. And then you got to do a whole nother round where you got to, like, every certain amount of time, pop a couple more of these tablets, drink a bunch of water. Oh, my God. And so she says, yeah, I'm going to be up all night doing this. I go, okay, you know what? I'm going to go sleep in the other room. So I go in the other room. And the next day, I wake up to get her up for the actual colonoscopy, you know? And I go in there, and she explains to me that it did not go well, and she ended up like puking. And so at one point, she's sitting on the can, doing it in the toilet, and then barfing. What the fuck? Real rough. And got a headache. She feels like shit. Her stomach hurts, and prior to the second round starting, she had said to me, she FaceTimes me. I was sitting right here, and she goes, hey, I'm thinking about skipping the second round of taking these tablets. I said, why? This is before the night really got bad for her. I said, why? She goes, well, it's really bad. I mean, and I'm cleaned out. It's all done. And I said to her, I go, well, what do the directions say? And she reads to me that she says, well, it says I should take it all. I said, you know, I normally don't get into pissing matches with physicians. You realize doctors do this for a reason. I said, I would hate for you to fast, hardcore fast, go through all of this only to get there. And then they ask you if you did the entire procedure, the prep, and you said no. And they said, well, then get your clothes on and go home because you have to do the prep. She goes, I don't want to. She's complaining. I go, hey. And she thinks I'm making the decision. She's talking to me like I did it. Like she's arguing with me. And I go, again, I'm going to defer to the graduates of the finest institutions in colon health who've done this. I don't know if you can establish your own set of rules here. I'm just telling you what they say. I'm not the one telling you what to do. Schloss Ritter says, reminds me of when she went for the kidney donation test without the paperwork. Oh, yeah. Oh, my God. Same thing. You bringing your paperwork? I don't need to. Why? Well, I got yours. I go, no, I think we both need the paperwork. I think they said specifically you, and then she gets there and the admin person, she gets into a war with the person. I go, well, hey, I'm going to check in. You go ahead and call the kidney donation team and see if you can get something emailed to you. I'm going to go. You're right. She does do that. We get to the hospital. She's completed the prep. She's had a bad night. She's in the hospital bed. I've strapped on the little thing behind, so she's in her gown, and getting ready for the procedure. And the nurse comes in and says, so, did you do the prep? And she says, yes, I did. I didn't want to. And the nurse says, yeah, I know it's difficult, but the hard part is over. Diana says, yeah, I almost didn't do it because she gives the same reasons. And I see the nurse turn and look at her. And you won't believe what the nurse said. She said exactly the same words that your old pal Eric Zane said. Oh, well, if you did that, if you told us, and we knew that, I would have to get up and leave. And you would too. Doctor does not do this unless the patients follow all the steps. And so that was that. Now, I have video of Diana recovering, but I'm not just going to blast it out to the world. I am going to blast it out, but I'm only going to blast it out to the folks on Patreon. Because if she finds out that I just blasted it out to the world, she'd have a big problem with that. She would have a problem with it if I blasted it out to the Patreon people, but less of a problem because it means she's making money on it, first of all. And second of all, because, less people. There's more people that would watch here. So I'm going to blast that out on Patreon. The video of Diana coming out of sedation. Stevie says, I hope it's hilarious. It is. It absolutely is. So you need to sign up for Patreon because when I get done with this show, I have 4 fantastic videos of her coming out of sedation. She remembers none of it. Cute as a button. Patreon.com/Eric Zane. By the way, Ben and Eric is tomorrow. Tomorrow we do the Ben and Eric Patreon podcast, a Wednesday edition because Ben has something happening on Thursday. Kenny says, are you going to tell her about Patreon before or after it's gone? I'm not sure what you mean by after it's gone. Done, he means. Yeah, you really got to get those. You know what you really got to do in order to keep momentum? Before you hit send, read. That's key. I'm not going to read any more of your comments until you actually learn how this process works. Oh, he's giving me the finger now and calling me bad names. Yeah, I can't read yours anymore because they're usually very poorly done. It's frankly, it's a miracle how you're employed because of the massive mistakes that you make with your fingers. Yeah, probably going to lose your job at some point. Well, anyway. So that was that. All perfect. The doc, this doc is, yesterday is the big colonoscopy. I mean, he has several. So it's literally, they've gotten the patient ready, and then patient's on their side, and he just takes the thing, just snakes it all the way up there. And it goes, the procedure is the camera goes all the way up to where the small intestine meets the large intestine. And then he starts to back it out slowly, examining every nook and cranny of that thing. Okay? Looking for polyps. It's kind of like, anal beads. When you do that, you just stuff them in and pull them out slowly. So if she was awake, she might have had like the big O. You never know. Anyway, so they do that deal, and he comes back and he's like, "Yeah, it is done. It is great. Her colon looks fantastic." I go, "That is awesome." Then he has to go to the next room, stick it right up there, do it again. The whole day. Can you imagine if that's your job? That's all you do is look at people's assholes? God. All right. So all good. Now, the day before colonoscopy procedure, I went up to Fear Bunker North for one day. Now, I didn't go to my place. I went to Charity Scam Mike's place. Technically not his place. Technically his dad's place. His dad just decided to sell the property. So Charity Scam Mike has to get, all of his stuff out of there because they've been there for 25 years. So they sold the getaway place, and he's really upset about that. This was really, really tough on him and his family, but it was done. So this is the final day for him to get all of his stuff out of there. And I said, "Hey, I'm going to go up there. I'm going to help you out," and that's that. And so it's Charity Scam Mike, my lovely stepsister / sister Elizabeth. Mike is her husband. Mike's kids, Chloe, and Sophia, and Chloe's boyfriend, Nick. Young dude, and Mike's like, "Hey," like bossing him around. "Hey, grab some wood. We're going to throw it on the fire." We're having a fire, sitting by the fire, and just spending the day there, kind of moral supporting it. One of those deals. And we're in the garage, and Mike says to this dude, Nick, like 22 years old, he goes, "Nick, get up on that ladder and tell me what's in those rafters. Because I've never really examined what's up in the rafters, and the previous owner of this place, maybe there's one of those treasure chest deals up there or something of value. I don't know." So he goes, "Oh, okay, no problem, Mr. Stong." And dude gets up on the ladder. And Mike and I are, on the floor of the garage and looking up at the guy, and he goes, "What? Oh man. Oh no." And we're like, "What?" He goes, It's a big fish." We go, a fish? What? And right away I'm picturing like the remains of a large fish. Why the fuck would a fish be up in the spot in the attic, or not like the, up where the joists are, the trusses in the garage? He goes, No, it's not a fish. It's a cat." Oh boy. It's a cat that went up there and croaked probably 300 years ago. And now he gets a glove on, and he grabs this mummy. It is an absolute, this is something you see in like a museum of natural history. And, it's bones, some skin, I guess, that is mummified. And it's like completely intact. It's perfect. God knows how many decades it's been up there. And Mike goes, "Oh, this is probably that one cat, that feral cat that Chloe took care of when she was a little girl." I did water. They fed it, whatever. I go, oh, okay, well, we're going to just get rid of it. So, and he goes, no, I'm going to go take it in the house and show her. Now, I'm like, dude, now she's the type of person, she's like, all about animals, and it would destroy her. I know this is going to make you want to hate on Charity Scam Mike, but the boyfriend goes, no, don't do it. And I go, Mike, I don't know if that's a good idea. He goes, no, it's great. It's fine. I go, I don't know that it is. With this thing, and he does not have a glove on, so he's just holding the fucking thing. And he opens the door, and Liz is like, what? And then he explains what's up, and she goes, I wouldn't show that. So now he's got three people saying, probably not a good idea. What does he do? I know you're thinking, he didn't show it to her, thank God. I'm like, dude, the fact that you even brought that into the house I am questioning even being here to help you. Okay? I'm starting to hate you as we speak. There's a lot wrong with this. You should not be laughing hysterically right now. This cat died. Let's just go dispose of it in the manner that we're supposed to, and then that'd be the end of it. Oh my God. So the fire was on. I go, give it a Viking funeral. This is what needs to happen. And I mean, it's so old. It was like, Jesus, if he sneezed while walking with it, it would go poof and turn into dust. It was that old. Fire picked right up, though. I mean, I tell you what, forget throwing on a dry log. Throw on a 50-year-old cat, for fuck's sake. Incredible. Cole says, is it okay? Cole says, hold it in front of her and say, you did this, you asshole. Jesse says, why doesn't he just scam another charity and buy the place off his dad? Now, he never really did scam a charity. That's all tongue in cheek. All right. Day ends. I decide I'm going to go drive over to my place. Now, it's a two-track road, and there's still snow up there. It's been very, very wet and snowy. I'm in Diana's car, and I go, let's just go see how far this will go, because I know that there's still a big snow pile by the end of my driveway. So I know I won't be able to get that far. I was going to drive up there and then walk the rest of the way in, see what's going on, make sure all the doors are closed. I get 15 feet on the two-track, and I feel the car sinking. And I notice the tires start spinning, and mud starts flying up. I have now turned Diana's car into a monster truck. Get out now. In reverse. Drive back. Oh my God. Thank God I see my tire tracks just digging deep trenches into the two-track. This was a bad decision. Made it out without an inch to spare. Had I gone any farther, that would have been an awful, awful thing. Go home. What the hell's all the mud? I don't know. Buddy, it's not my fault. Accident. I didn't do it. Holy crap. Thank you for enjoying this show on Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube. But I got to kick you out right now. If you want the full show on Twitch, twitch.tv/Eric Zane Live, or download the Twitch app and search Eric Zane Live. That's how we do it. The audio podcast is available wherever you download shows. Just search Eric Zane Show. Send me an email on the Shoreliner Striping inbox when you want to say hello. Okay. Thank you. And don't forget about the Patreon. Patreon.com/Eric Zane. How could you? Facebook and Twitch brought to you by Irvine's Auto Repair, Grand Rapids Hybrid, and EV. Twitter brought to you by Blue Frost IT. And, of course, you can follow me on YouTube as well. Eric Zane for HelloFresh. You're going to save 60% plus free shipping. Pay attention. Here are the options for you. Take the family out to eat, and then you're bankrupt by the end of the month. That's out. Okay, I'm going to plan a bunch of meals. I'm going to do research, hours on end, go to the store, buy all this stuff. Somebody's going to crash into my car. I'm going to get home. Nobody's going to like it because I didn't do the recipe right. The instructions weren't clear. It goes to waste in the fridge. Blow even more money. And then everybody thinks you're a terrible preparer of meals. Or you can call upon America's #1 meal kit, HelloFresh. I would just like you to try this. You know, I mean, we go way back, you and I. So just try this just once. Go to HelloFresh.com/Zane60, and then you'll use the code Zane60 for 60% off plus free shipping. So the box comes to your door after you make the various checks of what you like and how much food you actually want to get, and then let it play out. It comes to your door. The instructions are perfect. They're on individual cards. All of the portions are measured so that nothing goes to waste. You plate the food, you pass it along to the family at the table, and they're like, this is fantastic. I am not kidding you. It is a life game changer. HelloFresh. Again, you go to HelloFresh.com/Zane60 and use the code Zane60, and that's 60% off plus free shipping. Now, this offer does not last forever, so now is the perfect time. As I'm talking to you, log on, do it, sign up, and then get ready to have some fun and be admired by your family and friends. And make sure you tell me how it goes. Reach out to me on email or whatever. Scream at me when I'm running down the street and tell me that I was right, because I am right. HelloFresh is fantastic. I swear by it. I love these folks. HelloFresh.com/Zane60 and use the code Zane60 for 60% off plus free shipping. They didn't become America's #1 meal kit by doing anything other than being the best. Thank you, HelloFresh. All right. Believe it or not, it is an early PP break. But it's important that this happens. I got a tinkle. I will be back. Don't go anywhere. More coming up. I got to talk about Trump. I got to talk about Kid Rock. You see what Kid Rock is doing? Holy shit. We'll get to that in a second. All right. Breaking news. Add one more day of your old pal EZ doing radio. I just heard from Bakita, the guy I'm filling in for, Ed Wood. He sent me a text saying, hey, man, wondering if you can do Thursday. They're calling for tornadoes and bad storms when we're supposed to fly in. We're thinking about pushing the flight back a day. If you can't, no worries. Oh, hell yeah, I got you. Breaking news! Yes, I got to remember to use it. Breaking news! And Ryan says, I have a theory about what radio station. And no, not that radio station. The story just broke that very, very famous show, at least in the Michigan area, named Mojo in the Morning. One of the people on that show, he goes by the name of Spike. And he, as of Monday evening, he announced, hey, I'm out. I'm no longer part of the show. But no, it has nothing to do with that. A little bit of background. That is iHeart, who I do this fill-in work for. And recently there was a story that went available on All Access, was published at our radio trade website called All Access. All they do is talk about radio stuff. They published that iHeart is announcing a belt tightening. Some deal where, I don't know, some announcement was made about we got to We got to tighten our belt and some changes. No more overtime, and 401k is no more matching until we can, I don't know, some. So the Mojo Show is part of iHeart, and I'm just, 2 and 2 makes 4. But I don't know that. I don't know for sure. I'm just assuming it is a budgetary thing. And what seemed like a belated April Fool's Day joke or one of the trademark pranks of the radio show involved Detroit radio personality Mojo had some surprising news Monday for listeners. He announced that Spike is gone. Spike made a comment a few hours later. He said, I am no longer on the Mojo in the Morning Show for more than 23 years. It has been a dream come true to entertain you. I never took it for granted. It's with much love that I say thank you for your support. Spike added in the post that he wasn't able to answer questions about the sudden split. As of early afternoon, there were more than 800 comments linked to the post, most of them expressing shock, anger, and sadness at his departure. The company that owns WKQI-FM, iHeartMedia, confirmed the departure Monday afternoon. As of April 3rd, Spike will no longer be part of the Mojo in the Morning Show. We appreciate his contribution during this time with us and wish him well. The Morning Show will continue as scheduled with the rest of the cast, said Tony Travato, Executive Vice President of Programming for iHeartMedia, via email. During the Monday broadcast, Mojo opened the show by referring to, quote, a lot of crazy things that have been going on with a lot of decisions being made by companies these days, changes made that we're not immune to. Then he said Spike was no longer with the show. Without coming right out and saying it, he implied it was a corporate move. Quote, for over 23 years, Spike has been an integral part of the radio program, said Mojo, who aided that his team got the news on Friday. It was a rough weekend, said Mojo. Apparently, iHeart is in the process of doing some nationwide budget cutting, according to this Detroit Free Press article. In mid-March, the company sent out an all-staff communique warning of a tightening of the belt in the face of economic uncertainty. And that is kind of the nature of the beast in the industry these days. Very, very difficult. And you're like, Eric Zane, well, why do you want to hitch your wagon onto that? Well, like I indicated to you earlier, I don't need to do radio. If I decided I wanted to do radio for any amount of time, and then suddenly it blows up in my face, I'm still doing the podcast. I'm already at a cruising altitude that is safe for all involved. The heavy lifting of building is over. It's done. The job is complete. Thanks to you. So if I can just add something to it and try my damnedest, who knows where that could take us? I'm excited about that possibility. I've already reached out to another person who I think could be an excellent person with me on this hypothetical show. And I'm like, what if I told you you can roll out of bed, start talking into a microphone 1 minute later and be on the radio for 3 hours, and you still do what you're already doing right now in your career? Would you do that? Would you go on the radio with me? This person says, that is the only way I would go on the radio with you. Me too. Stay tuned. But no, I have nothing to do with the Spike story. Unless I'm the last one to know. Ryan says, don't mess with the cash cow. Big fraud, Zane. Kabubi 69. Of course, Kyler, Zane, and Spike in the mornings. Sam the Jew says, did he mock someone's trousers too? Young Adam Schwab says the guy who makes $20 million a year is firing more $12 an hour workers. All right. I better shut up about that. Today, Trump is, he goes, like, I guess, turn himself in. Is that what you do? Turn yourself in when you have been indicted on however many counts he's been indicted on. Now, if you are the prosecutor, the New York prosecutor that has indicted Trump, you don't do this unless you think you can win, because you look like a jackass if you throw out some stupid charge. I mean, it's got to be egregious, right? I want to see the listing, the seriousness of the charges. Well, any charge is serious, in my opinion. And I heard our old pal Puddin today. He's part of this camp of, oh, it's just a witch hunt. It's he's beside himself that something could even happen to Trump. And I'm of the opinion as, then why do we have laws? Why do we have anything if you can just do it and get away with it occasionally? And then the idea of, yeah, he's just doing it because, yes, of course, it's a big fish. Of course they're going after Trump because it's Trump. If Trump can get indicted, tried, and either proven innocent or guilty, it is proof that the system is working. It is set up to do this. If you break the law, you must face the music. If that happens to you, why can't it happen to him? The indictment will be unsealed, or maybe it has since I started the show. I'm not sure. I'm anxious to see how everybody responds. You know what? Every time I say this, as we get closer to a presidential election, I get excited. I love everything about the election process. Okay? Any people who say, "Oh, guys, I hate the ads and I hate the mudslinging and I hate the fight," I fucking love it. It's the best. I'm most excited for the war between DeSantis and Trump. I cannot wait for that one. At some point, DeSantis needs to start swinging at Trump. And that's going to be, this is like wrestling, when like the tag team partners, one betrays the other. Oh my God. Speaking of politics, Kid Rock, of course, loves Trump. This doesn't really have to do with Kid Rock and Trump, though. This has to do with Kid Rock and people like him. That whole idea that anything, well, you know what? I'm just going to let him do the heavy lifting for us. He's pissed off at Bud Light. He's pissed off at Bud Light because Bud Light is teaming up with some transgender person by the name of Dylan Mulvaney. Mulvaney, I guess, is doing something with Bud Light. You know, to give you a little context, this is Dylan Mulvaney. Now, Mulvaney was born a dude and is becoming a chick, and going from dude to chick is being chronicled on TikTok. And so this transformation is taking place. And she is also doing like a lot of satire and silly, stupid shit that people watch and laugh at. I don't think it's funny, but who cares? So that's it. Like, if you were to check out a few of Mulvaney's videos, audio check, video check, like this one.
God, I love my native deodorant and gummy bear scent. I just wish there were other candied scents, too.
Dylan.
Oh my gosh, you're back.
You're in luck.
What do you have for me this time?
How about
Sourberry belt scent? A deodorant could never. Or could it?
here's the real thing to compare.
Jeez.
Oh my gosh. It does smell like Sourberry belts.
Or maybe you'll like
Sweet cinnamon heart scent? Get out of here. Is it still a
Okay, now I obviously can't stay with this because it's so stupid. Maybe this one.
What are the states where Sam can't go? Arizona, Utah, and
Okay, so everything's really dumb here.
Let dolls be dolls, please. Let dolls be dolls, please. Thank you.
Okay, I'm not sure what's going on there. I don't know what a lot of this stuff is.
If you be the cash, I'll be the rubber band. Okay. If you be the cash,
I'll be the rubber band. You'll be the match. I will be a fuse. Boom. Painter, baby, you could be the muse.
if you
Okay, so you can imagine that this is going to make some people very uncomfortable.
Hi, it's day 374 of being a woman, and it's been a second since we last talked. I think I needed a few days to process the past year since day 365. But I'm back. I'm back, baby. And we need a proper catch-up, but in the meantime, you had to see the outfit. I mean, oh. And you might be thinking, Dylan, why do you look so professional? And it's because I have my first speaking engagement out of college today. I'm at the University of Pittsburgh. And I was only in college just a few years ago, and I was very lost then, a little boy crazy. But I finished. I got my degree, and now look at me. And I don't know exactly what I have to teach these college students, but we're gonna have a good time. I can guarantee that. Just call me Professor Dylan. Call me Professor Dylan. And okay, is that it? Yes. Okay, I gotta go. Okay. Class dismissed. Love you.
All right. Nate says having a dude that thinks he's a chick sponsor a water that thinks it's a beer is perfect. Okay. Dylan is making people uncomfortable in the world. Not me. But Kid Rock is the one he does not like this. He's angry now at Anheuser-Busch and Bud Light because they've teamed up with Dylan Mulvaney. And I don't even know the extent of the quote unquote team up, but watch what Bob Ritchie does.
Grandpa's feeling a little frisky today. Let me say something to all you and be as clear and concise as possible. Bud Light and Anheuser-Busch. Have a terrific day.
Okay. So that's where Bob Ritchie stands on the deal. And I want to shoot that gun. That's what I want to do. I want to shoot that fucking gun. You know? Amy says, geez, Kid Rock has aged in dog years. Are you allowed to, I'm pretty sure that we can't have automatic weapons. We can only have semi-automatic weapons. I'm curious about that. Maybe there was a supervision or something. I mean, I don't know the law or anything like that, but that was something else. So all right, I am going to shoot up the Bud Light and Anheuser-Busch because they teamed up with a transgender person? Chris indicates you can get a federal license for one. It's just very expensive. Oh, thank you. Sam says it could be a binary trigger or a bump stock. I think those bump stocks are illegal too. I don't know. Maureen says, why do people get upset about inclusivity? How does it hurt Kid Rock for Bud Light to team up with her? I don't get it. Well, this all goes back to, in my opinion, the most hated people on the planet are gay people. Gay, lesbian, whatever you want to say, all the letters, all the transgender people, they are hated. Hated. Can you imagine? It would never happen. Like if Bud Light and Anheuser-Busch announced that they were going to team up with a black guy or something like that. Kid Rock would not dream of doing that. There's no way he would do that. But in America, it's okay to hate on these people openly. It really is. Now, eventually it'll change. But as of right now, I actually consider it to be somewhat dangerous. And I would be fearful. And, you add into the mix the whole kid lives in Tennessee, where the school shooting went down. And you just so happen to have a female who was becoming a male in that town. So people are still running who are like Kid Rock and Puddin' that this was trans terrorism or some shit like that. That this trans people are now, and that couldn't be further from the truth. Well, this person might have had a I don't. No one knows. It may be because someone had done something to him. But it's inconceivable to think that the transgender community is rallying the troops to start blowing up schools. It's absolutely ridiculous. But that's the world we live in right now. You are hated by conservatives. They hate you and bigoted people. That's how it is. Now, Dylan Mulvaney, I will say, I think is pulling it off in looking like a woman in the face. Really got to get some money for those breast implants, though. Okay? And I think pretty cute woman. Like, if I didn't know that Dylan in this clip was a dude.
But what does she smell like?
Like if someone said, is this a man or a woman? And I couldn't, and actually Dylan went ahead and got the surgery and had some boobies.
And now
I would say this is a cute lady.
She smells like candy. But what does her hair smell like?
And Dylan probably wants to hear that. It's my understanding that it's a nice thing to say to a transgender person. Hey, you look like a hot chick. You're a hot chick. They love that shit. Nick adds, after 28 Bud Lights, a hole is a hole. Okay, all right. Amy indicates that Dylan just had facial surgery. So Dylan is getting there. I know some of you on here aren't quite as open-minded as my old ass and refuse to say that Dylan is a woman. You won't do it. I'm not here to judge you. You do your own thing. But I'm just telling you, that's a woman. All right, Kid Rock. I had stopped listening to him, and then I realized that I still like his music. So I said, you know what? I'll still listen to him, but he's a real dickhole. You know, I think we could still have a good conversation, but I'd have to say to him, yeah, I still like you, but you're one of the dumbest people on the planet. Chris says, you just said she's doing a good job looking like a woman. There you go. There you go. That's another example. Is a woman is what I should have said. That is a woman. I'm okay with it if they're okay with it. If someone comes up, okay. When Kenny later on comes up to me and says, hey, man, I've decided I'm becoming a chick. I'm a woman. I'm going to say, you're a woman. Yes, you are. I'm with you on that. If any of you, I'm encouraging all of you to change your gender. And we can just completely switch it out. And I will too. We can do Switch Your Gender Day. The Eric Zane Show Podcast, Walk in My Shoes show. Sir Bob writes, I'm so upset at this company, I'm going to spend a lot of money buying their products and destroy it after they already made their money. Ryan says, I actually never knew this about Kid Rock, but I live under a rock. Well, I actually was tipped off. I saw Kid Rock with trending today. And then I saw a couple of things like, what is that? What is shooting Bud Light up? What does that even mean? And then Diana Kimmich goes, you see what Kid Rock did? He's a total asshole. What a fucking asshole. My God. All right, I got to catch up on some ads. First off, sign up for Patreon. We're going to review Diana's coming out of sedation clips today on the Patreon. Patreon.com/Eric Zane. And even if you sign up later, you can still go back and watch those. The show's still going to be there. I mean, as soon as I make it, it's there in perpetuity. Patreon.com/Eric Zane. Thank you, M37 Hackers, 269-205-2095. If you're in Middleville, Michigan, or if you know where Middleville, Michigan is, right on M37 is M37 Hackers. Golf simulation. It's always sunny and 80 degrees at M37 Hackers. You are golfing the best courses in the world. You and your buds show up. Bring a cooler of beer. They don't sell beer, but bring your own damn beer. Bring your clubs. Pay the money for the bay, the simulation bay, and golf the finest courses on the planet in about an hour. 18 holes, 1 hour. 3 hours. Okay? We'll take 3 hours. We're going to do Pebble Beach. We're going to do Augusta. And then we're going to do, I don't know any more golf courses. Pebble Beach, Augusta, St. Andrews. M37 Hackers. I got a mortgage guy. The Mario Flores Lakeshore team of Van Dyke Mortgage. 231-332-6505. Anywhere in the U.S. except Alaska, Hawaii, Maine, South Carolina. If you're looking for a refi, looking for your first mortgage, your 10th mortgage, please test the waters with the Mario Flores Lakeshore team of Van Dyke Mortgage. The best. Throat/Dale, Superior Cleaning and Power Washing. Okay, Dale's coming over to do my deck, the house. He's going to do the pool deck, all of the landscaping. Before and after. You know, before looks like shit, after looks like awesome. Looks awesome. One of those deals. Superior Cleaning and Power Washing. If you're in West Michigan, call for a quote. 231-740-4098. Dates are filling fast for Superior Cleaning and Power Washing. 231-740-4098. Thank you, Kent County Health Department. Oh, my God. If you or someone you know or love is having trouble keeping the family fed, please reach out to the Kent County Health Department. They will give you all you need to know about the WIC program. Stands for Women, Infant, Children, but that's not all that they serve. It's your family. Okay? AccessKent.com /health is who you want to reach out to. 616-632-7200. Stand by. I need a drink. I think I need to hear Dylan Mulvaney speak like seriously without so much silliness. I would love to hear that person talk just to give you perhaps some perspective. Instead of, I guess my point is, if you could just hear a person out before you decide to indict them, you know? That's always the same type of patience I afford everyone. I always do that. Come on. You guys know that. All right. Women's basketball. All right. First of all, the national championship game for the men went down last night, and UConn wins going away. Kind of slaughtered them. But the women's game happened the night before. LSU beat Iowa. Iowa has that chick on their team. I forget her name. Caitlin Clark. Is that it? She's like great player. One of the best female players ever played the game. Just incredible. And in the final game, LSU beat them. The ratings of this were through the roof. I'm not even being facetious. 9.9 million people watched it. That's up 102% from the year before. At a maximum during the game, 12.8 million people were watching it. The rating it had was higher than, oh my God, all of the NBA playoffs last year except for the finals, all of baseball's playoffs except for the World Series, all of the NHL, and higher than all of NASCAR. More people were watching the women's college basketball national championship. So, you know, just like that, suddenly everybody watched. And this is what I've been saying. Part of why this has been happening is because of the shit talking. In the handshake line, you had that one chick from Memphis. Bam! She punched the chick from Bowling Green right in the fucking face. You had the other one that we reviewed where those two were like in each other's face getting ready to fight, but they didn't. This Caitlin Clark is a shit talker. She's constantly going like this, like the John Cena, you can't see me. This Caitlin Clark. And then in the previous game, one of the best players on the other team, I don't know who the fuck it was, doesn't matter, was dribbling down the court and was left wide open. And Caitlin Clark's like, I don't even need to cover you, because what she's saying is it's a diss. You know, that's what that is. And she disses her by leaving her open. So this is sweet. You know, this is great. What the hell's wrong with that? Two things. The first thing is, Angel Reese for LSU. After LSU beat the shit out of Iowa, Angel Reese walks up to Caitlin Clark and she's going, you can't see me. You can't see me. And then she points to her ring finger because she just won a ring. And Clark didn't react. She walked off the court. To her credit. And to Reese's credit, too. How great is that? Fuck you. You're going to put your hand in your face and diss everybody else? Fuck you. Good. Here you go. And she's pointing at her finger. Well, then everybody took umbrage with what Reese did. And they're like, yeah, oh my God, look at that. It's classless. That's terrible. There's no class. It's like, you fucking idiots. You look like racists. The white chick did the same damn thing. And you're like, oh, that's great. Wow, she's such a competitor. What a fighter. And then a black chick does it. And you're like, oh, my God, you're an animal. It's classless. I'm so upset. I'm like, that's terrible. You assholes. No, that's not classless. That's perfect. Holy shit. So then everybody like indicts her, Angel Reese, because she's black. That's why they did it. You can't do that to a white girl. It was horse shit. Oh my God. That was awesome. I was so happy for that. Now, I love Clark. I love I love that she's talking shit. But if someone else is going to talk shit, I mean, Clark didn't respond negatively, but the world was like, oh, they're like indicting Angel Reese. That's ridiculous. You know what, though? Honestly, I think it's pretty fucking great. Big picture. This is all good for the game. You know? You know how like MMA is like men and women have gotten over? People get just as excited for the women's MMA fights than the UFC than they do the dudes. And ultimately, you know who's going to benefit from this is the WNBA. Because you get these chicks going into the league, they're going to make more money when more fans give a shit. Because as it is right now, they don't. And these women have to play like year round. They'll earn a certain amount of money in the regular season, and then they have to play in other leagues. Well, like Brittany Griner, that was part of the reason why she went to Russia, was to play there because she's not making the money where she can take that amount of time off. So if you're the WNBA, you're like, yes, keep it up. You know, I mean, pick more fights. This is all good. More butthurt. Dave Portnoy from Barstool, which, by the way, I'm seeing a lot of jokes about the Family Guy let the fan decide bit. Oh, that's one of my favorites. All right, I got to watch it. WNBA Family Guy. Okay. Audio check. We're probably going to get an ad. Video check. Good.
And at the top of the second half, it's 16-9. Easton leads the scoring with 4.
And that's why she commands $7,000 a year. These gals sure do make it look difficult.
But is having this minor skill worth being so unattractive? Oh. That's for the fan to decide. Yay!
Oh. Holy shit. One of my all-time favorites. Cole, still butthurt by Brittany Griner, said she was making $250,000 and it's not enough. Fuck her. You're just mad because she spoke out about the whole fucking anthem thing. Shut up, you little bitch. Jesus Christ, get over it. All right. Portnoy is butthurt because I think, okay, I don't want to put words into his mouth. Let's see what Portnoy from Barstool has to say about this shit.
I fundamentally deny, and I think you're basically lying if you're saying what Caitlin Clark did and Angel Reese did are the same thing.
Okay.
I fundamentally deny, and I think you're basically lying if you're saying what Caitlin Clark did and Angel Reese did are the same thing. They're not. I like trash talking. If you hit a big shot in the moment, or you're talking in the moment, back and forth, and you do this or whatever, you talk, I don't care. That is not what Angel Reese did. Angel Reese, they were up 15 points. We have a side-by-side. She followed her after the game was over, doing this to her, doing this. Find me one example in any sport of anybody after somebody wins a championship, confetti coming down, not in a close game, and find me a player stalking the best player on the other team. It does not exist. It does not happen. If a man did that, he would be called classless, and nobody would be saying anything.
Well, I guess a guy never had the balls to do it, because frankly, I would love it if a motherfucker did that. Who cares? Who gives a shit? I love that she did that. And he's all outraged. A guy who, for a living, his job is to be an asshole. Dave Portnoy is outraged. And he's like, oh, yeah, show me another example. Well, she's the first. Great. She's a trailblazer, a pioneer. We need more of that. What an asshole. Oh, my God. Chris says, LOL, now we all get to see who's racist. Yeah, I think it's tough for people when they come out, you know, and take a die on the hill of Angel Reese. Stevie says his first problem is expecting women to act like men. I seriously, it's one of my favorite things in the world when women are engaging each other the way that these women are engaging with each other. These are warriors who, oh, fuck. When the game ends, the game's not over. When the game ends, they're setting the table for the next time they're going to fucking meet. Fuck yes. Oh, shit, yeah. This has pushed this game to the next level, and I will pay attention in the future. Fuck yes. All about it. You're not going to believe this. I need to take another pee break.
Breaking news!
Don't go anywhere. Dun, 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 dun. Kyle Fade. Thank you to Ms. Nikki. You're like, what? Nikki? Nikki, the lady with the goats? Wait until you see this. I know she doesn't want me to talk about it. I can't say that for sure. But she sent me, she's very artistic. And she took one of my pictures of Daisy Dew. And look at, this is fantastic. First thing I noticed in this picture of Daisy, which to me looks exactly like her. I mean, that's her. Look at the different colors behind Daisy. It's like indicative of a rainbow. Rainbow Bridge. We are in the process of doing the, thank you, Nikki. We are doing the engraving on the urn. And so I opened it up to the family members about what characteristics do we put of hers on the urn. And what I came up with, it would say Daisy, date of birth, date of death, chiclet-toothed tug-of-war champ, and biter of light, soft-chested pile of mud bully. Chiclet-toothed is because, you know, her underbite and the way the little teeth stick out. That's what stood out to Jackie. Tug-of-war champ was what Jim added. And biter of light, because if you'd be sitting there looking at your phone and the sunlight hits the phone and then goes onto the wall, all of a sudden she's biting the wall because of the light hitting the wall. Or if she sees any flash of light, she bites at it. Her chest was very soft and squishy. Soft-chested pile of mud, because when she's just laying there in a ball, she looks like a big pile of mud. And she was a bully. I mean, she would just, for no particular reason, Bruce would be sound asleep, and she would just wake up and then walk over and fucking beat the shit out of him. It was unbelievable. So I think it's something like that. I might change the order a little bit, but I think I'm going to go with chiclet-toothed tug-of-war champ and biter of light, soft-chested pile of mud bully. There you go. All right. What else do I have for you? Not a ton. First off, hello to Sarah Honda Granville, SERRA, sarahhondagranville.com. Go to Sarah Honda Granville. You can either buy a certified pre-owned car off of the lot today in the largest certified pre-owned lot in the entire state of Michigan, or test drive a brand new Honda and take that home in a couple of weeks. That's the way the car industry works these days. You don't go there and buy it on the lot. No one has inventory. It's just not the way it's done anymore since the pandemic for whatever reason. Honda does it that way, and you figure out what you want on the car. In a couple of weeks, it shows up. They prep the car. You come, you get it, and you take it home. Congrats to you. sarahhondagranville.com, just north of 44th Street on Kennewa. Check out their website. Blue Frost IT, the managed IT service provider for the Eric Zane Show podcast. If you need any tech help, whether you're upgrading your setup or you're moving your office, your business, you want to re-outfit an office, retrofit it, whatever it may be, new construction, reach out to Blue Frost IT, 616-200-8550. We're only talking about tag accounting for today and 3 more days. Tag accounting. Legit. If you haven't lifted one finger to get your taxes done, no matter where you are in the United States, that does not matter. Skip all of the stupid shit and just call Tag Accounting. 616-301-9516. I am not kidding you. That's all you need to do, and you will be all set. They will help you every step of the way. 616-301-9516. No matter where you are in the U.S., they'll take care of it for you. And batting last in the lineup today, Joe Martinez, A&E Heating and Cooling, 616-516-8579. It's time to schedule that tune-up for the air conditioner, 616-516-8579 if you are in West Michigan. I don't know if you remember the story about the chocolate factory exploding in some town in Pennsylvania. Where was that again? Is it Reading, PA? These are the people that make the chocolate bunnies for Easter. Okay? Well, the whole place blew up, and they're determining now it was a gas leak. And there's a woman who is speaking out now from her hospital bed. She was on the main floor, and then the place blew up. And it's all going up. Building's coming down around her. The floor below her gives out. Just as she's falling down to the floor below to her death, a ball of fire is approaching her. This all happens in 1 second. And it hits her. And her arm is now on fire as she's falling. The fall takes her out of the rest of the fire that's now consuming that area where the initial explosion happened. Several people died in this, by the way. They were like picking people up out of the rubble days later. She was found days later, too, alive, because as she fell through the floor, there's a big fucking vat of chocolate, liquid chocolate, and she deliciously landed in the vat, which extinguished her arm. So her arm is burned, but she's going to get that. She's living. She's alive. She lands in the chocolate, and she's like, oh, my God, I'm alive, and I'm surrounded by an entire building that is blown up. She can hear the screams above her, balls of fire going on. Everybody's burning to death. Oh, my God, I wish I was in the fucking chocolate vat. Oh, shit, the crazy bitch is in there. Shit, we're going to die. And they all died. 7 coworkers burned to death, blown up. And they're like, where is she? She's burnt up too. Patricia! And all of a sudden they hear, she's in the fucking vat. The dark liquid extinguished the blazing arm. She did break her collarbone, and when she hit the bottom of the vat, her feet, she damaged her heels, broke her heels. She spent the next 9 hours screaming for help and waiting for rescuers, battling the inferno and choppers thumping overhead at the R.M. Palmer Company factory. She says, when I began to burn, I thought it was the end for me. This is her. This is her in the thing. Kenny quoting Johnny Cash, I fell into a burning ring of fire. I landed in chocolate and no longer on fire. Chris with, did Oompa Loompas pull her out? Yes. And then the character you're referencing is Augustus Gloop. He fell in the fucking chocolate thing and went up the tube. When I began to burn, I thought it was the end for me. 50-year-old Patricia Borges told the AP in an interview from the hospital bed in West Reading, Pennsylvania. She's fine. Now, this is where she's already setting up for a great lawsuit, because from the hospital bed, she said, first of all, I'm going to miss my coworkers. So she's, obviously, you would expect that. Borges said she and others had complained about a gas odor 30 minutes before the factory blew up. She's angry that Palmer didn't immediately evacuate. She said the deaths of her friends could have been prevented. Other workers also said they smelled natural gas. Palmer's a 75-year-old family-run company with deep roots in that town, 60 miles northwest of Philly. They haven't responded to the workers' claims. At 4:30 p.m., Patricia Borges told the AP she smelled gas strong and nauseated her. So it wasn't just like a little one. It was bad. Borges and the co-workers approached the supervisor and said, hey, this is going on. What's going on here? Are we going to be evacuated? Borges said the supervisor noted someone higher up would have to make that decision. So she got back to work. You ever see those commercials locally where I live, DTE, like when we put the smell of raw eggs into it. We put it in there as a warning. You're supposed to listen to that, you assholes. They did not listen. Borges was on a ladder when it all went down. There was fire everywhere, and the flames quickly overtook her. Borges said, I asked God why he was giving me such a horrible death. She said, I asked him to save me, that I didn't want to die in the fire. Well, if that doesn't make you believe in baby Jesus, I don't know what does. I mean, she's like, hey, God, seriously. Please save me. I don't deserve this. And those other people that died, I guess they didn't say that, because Borges winds up in the delicious zone getting her life saved. My God. That vat filled with water, too. And, because of fire hoses, she got out of it after it got so high, but she still is stuck, and now she's completely wet. And then she got hypothermed, which that could have killed her too. I don't know if you've ever experienced hypothermia, but if you get really extremely hypothermed, you're going to die. So they finally got to her. She was 9 hours soaking wet, and it's fucking 35 degrees out. Jesus. But she did survive. Now, with all of this shit, you go ahead and you get a nice class action lawsuit going here. And since there's a lot of people that died and a lot of people that were hurt. I mean, everybody's going to be involved in this. You're each going to get millions. Okay? I mean, holy shit. And because of that, no one is getting hollow chocolate bunnies this year because they were actually working. They said, fuck you. We know it smells like gas, but these hollow bunnies got to get out. Which, by the way, you give a kid give a kid a hollow bunny these days. Like, what the fuck is this? Are you kidding me? With the tin foil around it? They're like, this is bullshit. 'Tis the season. This is Easter season. In fact, this is Holy Week. This is my first time ever that I've not participated in Holy Week as a Catholic. You know, I was born a Catholic. I was baptized Catholic and went to Catholic Mass. And I've always, my kids were all baptized Catholic. But not participating in anything Catholic now or any time in the future going forward. Looking for a new church. I think I talked about that a little bit not long ago, but yeah, there's a lot of strangeness in the world right now, and I cannot participate in discrimination. So I'm going to a church that is more welcoming. But I gotta find one. I have a couple in mind, but I haven't really put in the effort. I have not even attempted to lift a finger. And I talked to my brother Paul about that. He goes, you don't need to go to any church. I go, I know. You're right. I don't. And I don't fault anyone who doesn't. But for me, I tend to be closer to God when I'm actually physically going to a brick and mortar building to worship. When I'm here, I don't. I get too caught up in everything else on a day-to-day basis, and I don't take the time. I don't know how I got into that. I think I was talking about Easter, Hollow Bunny, and then Holy Week. You know me. I drift from topic to topic. Diarrhea of the brain. You can go from talking about the delicious story of lady getting extinguished in a vat of chocolate to my religious views and the Catholic Church in a moment's notice on this show. Amy says, I was going to tell you, Eric, to check out the Catholic Church in Saugatuck, Douglas. I don't know their stance on things, but I'm guessing they might be more open since they are there. Yes, that's true, but still, it's the mothership that I have a problem with. It isn't. It's the entire faith. I can't do Catholic, and that's kind of weird. If you got the boss of the church saying, "Yeah, you can get married," and then the churches down the line are like, well, we're open and accepting. Nah, not really. Who Cut the Cheese says you're changing your denomination. Correct. Never thought I'd say that. Never, ever thought I'd say that. You know what I mean? Yet here we are. Radio Voice Linda. Hollow bunny equals poverty candy. Soaked in bleach says, plus all the kid touching is gross. Yes, but, let's not. In general, you're getting that with any organized religion. Yes, that is true. But every time you turn around, there's another denomination where fingers are going into children. So, yeah, maybe it's time to abandon ship entirely. I don't know. But I'll figure it out. But that's just me. It's just a personal thing with me. And I always share my personal shit with you. Yeah, I'm not going to judge you, and I know you're not going to judge me. I know we all just love each other on this show. All right. Your asshole of the day. And by the way, I'm going to Smarter than a former drug dealer trivia coming up in moments. I think I'm going to start it at 1 p.m. Today's asshole of the day. Diana, colonoscopy. Diana trying to change the rules about prep for a colonoscopy. Trump, charity scam Mike with the cat. You could be a nominee. Women's basketball. Chocolate lady. Portnoy. It was 1989. My thoughts were short. My hair was long. Caught somewhere between a boy and man. She was 17 and she was far from in between. It was summertime in northern Michigan. Kid Rock's your asshole of the day. All right. Thank you, folks. Have a good one. Thanks for following the Eric Zane Show Podcast. I'll talk to you down the road. Bye-bye.
Welcome to BreezeLine, where you'll say, ta-ta, T-Mobile, because we've got more reliable home internet that's a whole lot faster. In fact, 10 times faster. No, seriously, because we have real internet backed by our fiber-powered network. And T-Mobile, well, they just have a 5G cellular network. So act now to get superior home internet. Find your perfect speed with prices starting at just $19.99 a month for 24 months. Terms and conditions apply. Go to breezeline.com to learn more.